Those following the latest Ford and Lincoln news coverage at FordAuthority.com might remember that in January of 2021, Ford Authority was the first to report that the upcoming 2022 Lincoln Navigator refresh would receive a new horizontally oriented infotainment screen. Well, at that point, we didn't have any photos, we didn't have any pictures of spy photos, what have you, of this center screen. But today, that has changed. Today, we have finally caught a 2022 Navigator prototype with its cockpit completely uncovered, confirming our initial report while also showing the new screen in all of its glory. So, the new screen, here it is. As you can see, the 2022 Navigator's infotainment screen retains the current Navi's general aesthetic and enclosure. You can see that right here. What's different about this unit in the 2022 model is that the bezels have been removed, and that enables the actual display inside of the enclosure to be larger. The screen is larger, and that will probably be something that will let the 2022 Navigator be able to better compete with its chief rival, the all-new 2021 Cadillac Escalade. For the sake of comparison, I'd like to just show you here side by side. So here's the 2022, and here is the current 2018, 2019, and 2020. Now, as you can see, a lot of this is the same. A lot of the center stack treatment, really, from what we can tell from these photos, all of it is the same. So 2022 right there, and 2018, 2019, and 2020 right here. And so this bezel right here on the screen enclosure, like I said, is the same on the 2022 model, on the refreshed model, but the actual screen bezel, this black bezel, is going away. And that's what's going to make this screen appear larger and really actually be ultimately larger. And also, like I said, pretty much all of this, the AC vent treatment, the controls down here, these are the climate controls as well as the infotainment controls, volume, the tuning knob, and the piano-like shifting mechanism, the gear selector. That all seems to be carrying over from the 2018, 2019, and 2020 model. That said, there's probably things that we can't see in this photo exactly, like the buttons here are probably different. They probably got a different treatment, for the actual buttons themselves. But generally speaking, the layout of this entire center stack remains the same, save for the larger screen within the same bezel. Now, what's interesting is that this is very different. This is a very different approach that Lincoln is taking compared to the 15.5-inch vertically oriented screen that will make its way to the 2022 Ford Expedition. So here we have a photo here at FordAuthority.com of the 2022 Expedition. This is a spy shot. A lot of the dash elements here have not yet been put into place, which is explaining why it looks kind of ugly. But ultimately, this is how the Expedition is going to look like. It's going to take this screen, this 15.5-inch vertically oriented screen, from essentially the Mustang Mach-E and from the Ford F-150 Lightning, the electric F-150 that debuted just last week. And so the difference is going to be major here. You're going to have the Expedition with this vertically oriented 15.5-inch unit, and the 2022 Navigator is going to stick with a horizontally oriented unit. And that's quite an interesting development for those who follow Ford and the Ford Motor Company and its products, just because the Navigator and the Expedition both ride on the Ford T3 platform and therefore are kind of similar in what they offer, the powertrains, the parts, the general architecture, wheelbase, etc. of the vehicle. Now this will be a major distinction between the two products. Now additionally, Lincoln's refreshed luxury SUV, the Navigator, of course serves as the flagship of the Lincoln lineup. In addition to all of these things on the interior, we also expect the 2022 Navigator to receive a host of other updates, including revised front and rear fascias. As you can see here by our spy shots again at FordAuthority.com, you can kind of tell that, the front and rear ends here are camoed. You can kind of make out what's different about these shots. The lights, there is something going on at the lower end here in the lower fascia. There's also some camo here at the front fender, or on the front fender with junction with the front door, and that essentially is probably going to be something that spells out Navigator right here, much like the 2021 and newer Nautilus, the Corsair, as well as the Aviator. So pretty much that this will bring the Navigator in line with the other Lincoln utilities currently on the market. And same thing here for the tail lamps. There's something going on here. They seem to be getting a little bit slimmer, a little more refined, although you can kind of see the general cutout right there of the actual tail light, just a different shape. We do expect that the light bar will continue to run across the lift gate here, and that's really it on the exterior side. Now, we do also expect the 2022 Navigator to continue offering Ford's 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 gasoline engine. So that will be the standard engine, just like it currently is. It actually might end up getting a power increase of some kind, possibly with some modifications to the way it breathes and some internal modifications to the engine itself. But overall, the 3.5 EcoBoost V6 will remain the standard engine in the 2022 Lincoln Navigator refresh. However, the more exciting news might be that the refresh will bring along with it a hybrid powertrain option. So again, an optional hybrid powertrain, not standard. The standard will remain the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6, but the hybrid will likely come in the form of the 3.5 liter PowerBoost V6, which was initially introduced in the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. No matter which engine, both will be mated to Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission, and that's quite a healthy and robust transmission. Now, the 2022 Navigator will continue to be built at the Ford Kentucky truck plant alongside the Expedition and the Ford Super Duty line and series. We expect the refreshed Navigator to launch in the second half of the 2021 calendar year as a 2022 model, and the reveal for the refresh will likely take place this summer of 2021. We will have a lot more on the 2022 Navigator very, very soon, so be sure and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and visit FordAuthority.com for the latest Lincoln news and obsessive, quite literally obsessive, Ford news coverage. Thanks so much for watching.